Hey, what's going on? Hey, Harper Sean. Hey, allegedly, what's going on, y'all? I'm just checking in, and I wanna talk about what's going on in these YouTube streets. How y'all doing today? What's really going on with the peoples, right? Like everybody losing their minds, people falling out. Like it's a whole caca storm out here in these streets, and like I've been sitting back chilling, taking care of my personal business. Hey Faye Shaya, hey So Blessed, hey Nikki. Like I just been falling back, just taking care of my business. Got a couple of things going on. I hope everybody is good and well in the chat. Tell me, everybody. Hey, Left Turn. Did anybody else just watch the epic? And I say this, the epic live over at Armand Wiggins. Anybody? Hey Keisha, what's up? Did anybody watch that? Let me know. Let me know in the chat if y'all watch that. Grown woman telling grown woman what to do, a mess. Okay, Nikki. It's it's really crazy. Like my question, you missed it, Nikki, honey. You need to go and watch that. Bump all that other stuff. You need to go watch that because if y'all don't know, let me fill y'all in. Right, Geo, T.S. Madison, and I forgot the other person's name. Well, they called in. Yes, okay, Left Hand, right. So they called in, and like it was just like my whole thing, and this is why I titled it the way I did, because I'm not really on here trying to gain anything or clout from this. I just want to give my 2 cents on it, my opinion on it. Being as though that, hey, I am a content creator, so I'm gonna give my 2 cents, and that's why I titled it the way that I did. Treat people how you want to be treated. Um, True friends, nothing is bigger than money. And the reason why I said that, because Geo has consistently, on his page, his Facebook, his YouTube, and on Armand's live just a few minutes ago, he has always stated that it was not about the money. So it's this thing about, he's doing this because he's trying to get clout. He's looking for some type of validation, or he's cloud chasing, and a whole bunch of stuff. But I truly understood what he was talking about, because if you're someone's friend, like if we're friends, it's Left Turn said it's not a lot being told. Oh yeah, of course, Left Turn, of course. Who do you believe is honest? I mean, I do believe Geo. I do believe his side of it. I don't really think that he was being um malicious. I feel like he was just displaying something that you usually do not see on YouTube. I mean, genuinely. Hey, Southern Belle, which is his emotions. I mean, sometimes we get wrapped up in the beef and everything like that, and we tend to talk to people greasy, and it's been a lot of doxing on here, and been a lot of tea being spilled and stuff like that. But when you have a friendship with someone, and you feel like, and it's not about seeking, and the thing I got from Geo is, it wasn't, I don't think it was that he was trying to seek validation for her, but everybody needs that recognition. It, like, if you look at it in a job capacity, Yeah, he does. He does seem hurt, Keisha. He really does. If you look at it in like a job capacity, I feel like he's put in the work. It wasn't about the money. It definitely wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the fame or anything like that. It wasn't about all the usual things that people like to use as tropes. Um, he was displaying raw emotion. He was letting her know because, as he has stated, hey, Miss Pizarro, as he has stated on several occasions, he has tried to reach out to her as early as May. Well, as recent as May. I don't know about after May, but as far as my understanding goes, May. And it was like, total radio silence. Nobody was talking. And he had did a live like a couple of nights ago on YouTube where he is talking about um how much he got paid for 3 separate years, and also the fact that there was no communication, even though he tried to be the bigger person and reach out and talk to her as adults. And the thing was, it was from what I'm saying. I'm saying this from Geo's point of view of what I understand. I'm not saying this to be fact. This is just my opinion. My opinion. Because he is hurt. He really is hurt. I think the friendship meant more to him than the business. And that's that old saying that like a lot of people, hey Trina C, a lot of people feel like, you know, um, you can't be business partners and friends because it creates its own set of drama, its own set of issues. And I agree to that to an extent. But he was talking about, yeah, this, that, and the third. And it just seems like he was the only one that, like, I know everybody was being messy. They would say their little stuff like, "Ooh, girl, she getting on our nerves," whatever the case is. Hey, Miss Kept Secret. Hey, madam, and chat. I'll be in the bushes for a hot minute going through some. Oh, that's fine. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. But it's just like, you know, when you're in a friendship with a person and y'all have talked about things, y'all have been through some situations, and I mean real, real friends. And think about this in your real life. And you go through things and y'all stop talking for whatever reason. Um he felt like he wasn't being validated. He felt like it just wasn't the type of appreciation that he felt. And by them being friends, I would have thought it would have been something that they could have talked about, behind the scenes, or talked about in the capacity of, okay, well, I have an issue, let's address this issue so it doesn't become a problem. T.S. Madison, I like T.S. Madison. Um, but I will say everybody is entitled to their own opinion. People might think that she throws rocks and hide her hand. I mean, a lot of people do on YouTube in general. I'm not saying her, not just her or anybody else. I mean, but generally they do throw rocks and hide their hand. They do that. It is a thing on YouTube. I don't care what sector you're in. It happens. It's not a foreign thing. Um, um, as far as like really quickly, like about Armand, I felt like in some ways he felt vindicated because I got the sense of it was like a ha moment, like when you were working for her, whatever the case was, you backed her all the way, and things like that. But now that you're on the other side looking in, now you feel what I felt. And to be honest, Armand, I really do feel like he felt some type of way when they had spilled the beans that the boy was over there, he was in his feelings, he felt some type of way. Um about them saying that he was crying. But that's a human emotion. Like, why should you ever feel the need to be embarrassed about how you feel emotionally? If that was the way that he felt, then that was the way that he felt at that time. It was in the moment, it was raw emotion, and you shouldn't have to apologize or explain for that. But and he was taking digs at Geo, but I just have to say that Geo, he handled himself very professionally, even though people don't think that he did. He People think that he should have been a little bit more rah rah, and he should have been, this ferocious person. But I mean, he was genuinely speaking, and I understood everything that he was saying. Um, it wasn't a thing where I felt like he was doing it for clout. And I don't feel like he was, hey, Carolyn, I don't feel like he was going to the extent, just letting the person know, like, bam, okay, y'all want to think that everything is good. Oh, everything is good. You know what I'm saying? Everything is hunky dory and this, that, and the third, but it's not. But realistically, we all have to sit back and say, like we knew, like it's chaotic. Anytime, especially if you're a bigger YouTuber or a bigger content creator, it's like a whole new realm of issues that you will go through. Keisha said, I think he still held back a lot. Oh yeah, he did. Oh, of course. Then speak to his character. Of course, of course he did. And the thing about that is that one of the things that I've always stressed about. I mean, people do what they want to do. They grown. Let me just say that first and foremost, and we're gonna leave it at that. But at the same time, if we're in a business, and I feel like if we're a business, whether you be a manager, whether you be a partner, whether you be whatever your role is, um, I don't feel that it's right or it's necessary to downgrade a person's role in a group or in a business just because other people come in and they happen to be a little bit more skilled in another area than another person. Um, I just felt like it's a total thing with miscommunication. I Left Turn said I do too, but I would have told it all after they doing him. But yeah, I mean, but you gotta I look at my own personal situation of when I first got on here and the issues that I dealt with and that I faced, um, and how, like, for 2 years, me and Goddess and Denia, we basically spent 2 years trying to get people to understand our point of view. But here lies the problem with that. When you have someone as big as T.S. Madison, okay, you cannot deny that the girl is a go-getter. You cannot deny that she started off meager. What meager means, she did what she had to do, and I'm not the type of person to sit there and judge a bitch on that, because everybody ain't the same, okay? And you got to do what the fuck you got to do to get yourself to where you want to be at. At the end of the day, always remember that's your choice, okay? Regardless if people or the general public agree with it or not, at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own life. Keisha said, yeah, at Left Turn, it's really nasty, but it shows he cares about her as a friend. Oh yeah, most definitely. And if people didn't see that, then I don't understand. I don't understand how else he can display that other than just outright saying that out his mouth. I just don't feel like it was really malicious. Yes, he said some things in anger, and he was man enough to admit that. But I just like all the extra shit, like the tagging and stuff like that. Like I felt like, and again, let me just stress this. I am a small YouTuber. This is my opinion. I have a right to my opinion. I'm not trying to shade nobody or nothing like that. I'm just giving my opinion. And my opinion is like uh I felt like Armand took that time to basically go on and just, kick him while he down type thing. Like I felt like, like, oh, now you know how I feel, and just that and the third. Like you don't get, like, for me, like, you don't get brownie points for that. I understand, yeah, be messy, yeah, um, this, that, and the third, and it's your platform, you run it how you want to. That's all understood. Okay, that's all understood. But at the same time, you cannot fault that man for something that his former employee did. Okay. And another thing that you have to take in mind, and you have to keep in mind also, that he was employed by T.S. Madison at the time. Not only was he employed with her, by her at the time, they were also friends. So naturally, the idea is, okay, this is my friend. I feel like, people are attacking my friend. I feel like people are, trying to slander and defame my friend. So I'm going to do what I can to, help my friend out. You got to look at it from a business aspect, and you also have to look at it from a friendship aspect. And that goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. Friendship and business does not always mix. Miss Kept Secret said, I feel like Omar never wanted to have a genuine friendship with Maddie in her camp. Well, I agree with that somewhat, Miss Cap Secret, to a certain extent. I feel like Armand, he was really emotionally attached to T.S. Madison, and he felt like, just like Geo felt, like it's sort of like the same situation, but different people and different occurrences. Okay, so for me, I felt like Armand was, he's friends with Madison. They kiki. They've talked about personal things. They've all felt, by his own admission, he has said this, and for him to sit there and hear, when he had his moment, and he called Maddie up, and he talked to Maddie. I don't know what transpired, and I'm gonna say this for the record. I don't know what transpired between him making that phone call to Maddie, and it coming out that he was crying on the phone or whatever the case was. But you know that does something to a person. You got to understand, we are all human beings. We have general feelings and emotions. It's not uncommon for a person to feel slighted. The way you react, though, is something totally different. Okay, and I just don't feel that it looked good for Armand to sit there and kick Geo while he was down, and he was right there. I mean, yeah, Geo said what he had to say, or he said what he said. He addressed that as well. What he said or what he didn't say about Armand. But at the end of the day, my whole thing is, if you have a person, even if he came on your platform, which Geo did, he came on Armand's platform and he laid it out on the table. You could either accept it or not at the end of the day. Much like when I was going through my stuff with, a couple of people on here and stuff like that. And I said what I said, and they said what they said. At the end of the day, you have to take it for what it is. If you're putting the cards out on the table, and I really don't think that any beef that I have right now, well, it's not really beef. I don't look at it as beef. I just look at it as like I'm mind fucking people. Like like if you get mad off of anything that I say, that means even for a moment I was able to tap into your fucking psyche and make you feel some type of way. Like that's enough for me. Like I don't have to go to the extreme lengths that other people do. When they have issues with people, I don't have to do that. That's enough for me. To know that you mentioned my name or came at me subliminally, like that's enough for me. Like you can never give a person the power unless you allow it to happen. You know what I mean? Like people will get on here like I've been slandered, I've been called this, I've been called that, I've been lied on. And at the end of the day, you take it at face value because either you're going to accept it or you're not. You know what I mean? And I just don't feel like it was right, to kick a person down. Like you're pinning all your anger and your frustration on Geo, and Geo was not the only person that said something about it. But because you're cool with the person now, it's all water underneath for the bridge. And I'm just like, you can't take the energy that you had for another person and put that on him because he's not a part of the fucking group no more. You just don't do that. Like there's something like weird about that. But hey, like look, I'm not nobody. It's my opinion. And I'm gonna give it. Okay. At the end of the day, whatever. Let me see. Let me get into the comments. He was even being petty about Geo's eyes. Like, yeah, like who gives a fuck about like yo, if you that's like a whole nother live. And I'ma just say this. If a motherfucker Jesus Christ. It don't matter if, like, to me, that shit, it don't matter if his eyes are blue, gray, or green, or whatever. If he wears contacts, if he wears reading glass. Like, that shit, like, really, like, that was just, like, some real petty, petty shit. You know what I mean? Hey, Cheryl. That was just, like, really, really petty, petty to me. And, like, it was messy as fuck. Like, and I was there for all of it. Like, like you do what you want, you grown. But at the end of the day, I just felt like that shit was like really messy to come for. Oh, you didn't have blue. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, come on, man. Dude, like it is people all over the world, all over the world that are born melanated, brown skin, dark skin with straight and curly blonde hair, blue green eyes, and they look like us as if they got blue green eyes and they got blonde hair. So like I really didn't get that part. Like that part was like really for me. Like I didn't get it. So but yeah. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me see. I think he said she was talking about him on Patreon. He did actually, you know what? He did say that. And I'm glad that you brought that up, Keisha. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Now watch this. Follow me. Okay, so Geo said that T.S. Madison, she presents, this is him saying it. This is him saying it. This is him saying it, but not verbatim. He basically said, in the public view, which is like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever platform, social platform that she's on, she will give this appearance that, oh, I don't talk about them, or much like the motherfuckers down in this sector do. Oh, I don't talk about them. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, hey, Luay, I'm not going to speak about them. And, this, that, and the third, they're nothing, they're nobody. I do this, I do that, all that jazz and shit. But, people came to him and was like, hey, Gio, I think you need to know that Maddie up there talking about you on the Patreon. I mean, that's the gist that I got from it. So he was like, rather than me go and listen to somebody else, I'm going to pay that $5 to see what she talking about. That's some real shit. You can't get no realer than that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you can't get no realer than that. And that's just my general opinion. That's just my general opinion about it. You can't get no realer than that shit. And he went over there, he heard what he heard, so he decided to respond. Totally normal. Totally normal. Like, if I had to use some of my situations on here as an example, motherfuckers will talk about you and say shit subliminally about you, but then turn around and be like, oh, I'm not worried about these bitches. If I'm not going to say your name and point you out, why the fuck I need to sit there and talk about you subliminally and shit? Like, people stupid. Like, I don't understand that shit. That shit has always been weak to me. But I like, look, it is what it is. Like, it's not a thing about trying to prove that you a boss or whatever the case is, or you. I mean, at least for me, it's not like that shit. That shit don't inspire me to do nothing more than what the fuck I do now up on this motherfucking platform. Okay, like, but yeah, Gio went over there and he, heard what he heard, so he decided to respond. Um, from what Maddie was saying, allegedly, and I gotta say allegedly because I'm not on her Patreon. I did not hear this for myself, so it's even though it's coming from Geo, I just gotta say allegedly because, like, I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. Fate shit said being messy is totally different than kicking someone who's down. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, and that's what I genuinely, my opinion, I genuinely felt like Armand was kicking him while he was down. Like, he wanted him to feel how he felt, but you can only do that to a certain extent because he wasn't the one that really hurt you. Like, honestly, I really do think, in my opinion, that Armand could give a fuck less about Gio. It wasn't Gio that hurt him. Hey, Deanna. It wasn't Gio that hurt him. It was Maddie that hurt him. But since they're, I guess, allegedly on the men's or whatever their relationship is, like, whatever, um, he took all that energy and put that on to Gio, and like that shit was weak to me. Like, I just don't. I What works for others doesn't necessarily work for everybody else. Okay, let me just say that. I feel like he was attached to the fame that came with it. I mean, again, Fates, like, this is my whole thing. People are going to like you genuinely for who you are or what you show them to be. Emphasis on show them what you want them to see. Okay, so at the end of the day, whether it was for fame or whatever the case is, and that's the problem with a lot of content creators on here, especially black content creators. Okay, we're all on here. We all started at one. Excuse me. Let me rephrase. We all started at zero. Okay, all of us. Not one motherfucking person started that YouTube channel and had 100 motherfucking subscribers straight off the back, unless somebody was promoting them. Okay, so let me just say that much. Second of all, we're not all going to make it to T.S. Madison status. We're not all going to make it to Armand Wiggins, status. And side note about Armand Wiggins, it was a video that he had did a couple of months ago. Um, it was very shady. I will say that it was very shady, but he really gave some really genuine good advice about being a content creator on YouTube. And I can't do nothing but respect him for that advice that he gave. It was a video that he was saying, and he was basically saying the same thing that I'm saying now. We're not going to all make it to that 100K at the same time. We're not all, hey, Dez, we're not going to all, turn a corner with everybody else as they turn the corner. The mere fact that I am a creator, period, speaks volumes. Because regardless if you have 5, 10, or 15 or 25 people in your chat, there is 25 people that decided to come and listen to what you had to say. Okay? And some of us don't give a fuck about the money. Some of us seen money outside of YouTube. Some of us would prefer, if they could do YouTube and stay in the motherfucking background, then they would do it. Okay? So I mean, I'm just being that's my truth about the whole shit. Like, as far as that's concerned, that's my truth. Let me see. All right, I read that. He was even being petty. Yeah, he was even being petty about Gio's eyes. Mess Kept Secret said, "My question is, what made Gio talk about this again? He's been talking this week. Yeah, he's been talking a lot, but you got to understand the emotion that is. Hey, this. I said Daz. Hey, Daz. Discovery Daz. You got to understand, like, at the end of the day, even though the business, the partnership, the management, or whatever they chose to clarify it as or classify it as, there was still a friendship there. Right. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Right, Des. And, it was a friendship there. And I think a lot of people forget that. They're looking at it because of who T.S. Madison is. T.S. Madison is the T.S. Madison. Nobody can ever take that away from her. She has paved her way, regardless if she cut corners or not. A lot of people do. But you can't deny that she paved her way. But I say that to say this. Don't ever be too big that you can't humble yourself. Even for your friends. If you, like, I feel like if you my friend, then you my friend. I'm gonna ride with you. Hey Meek, I'm going to ride with you. I'm going to stick it out with you. I'm going to ride with you till the motherfucking wheels roll down the street. If we friends. And that's what a lot of people was not, grasping the concept. Like, yeah, okay, he used to manage her or whatever the case is. And I also felt like it was a lot of slander against Gio or whatnot. I really don't know his whole repertoire, his resume, Gio's resume. But, I mean, he's done well enough for himself to where as though he has a home and a garden and he has other businesses. So that's enough for me. Like, other than that, I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Live your life, boo. Like, the fuck? Let me see. Deanna, I love my cup so much. I keep both. Louie said, I thought Gio said something about things said on Maddie's petition recently. I'm assuming. Yeah, and I mean, I'm assuming too, but this is what he said. He said he paid the $5 to see what she was talking about. And my whole thing about it, since I'm not subscribed to her Patreon, and since I don't, I watch her videos when she put it up, or if I have to be fortunate to catch a live of hers, I will definitely motherfucking watch it. Just like I watched Maul Wiggins. Been subscribed to him for a long time. Been subscribed to Maddie for a long time. And your point? Like, for anybody that got an issue for anything that I'm saying, because it might be blowback, it might not be blowback. Like, I'm subscribed to both of them. Like, the fuck, like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie about that. But I just felt like it was just like he was pushing all of that energy that was meant for a multitude of people onto Gio, and that shit wasn't right. Gio said he did state that he heard some things that she said on Patreon about him that was unfavorable, and he had to respond, which is his right. He has the right to respond to. My bad, I had to break my deck real quick. Um, he has that right to respond. You know, as a former manager and as a friend. And I don't think that he was coming at TS in regards to, him managing or whatever the case was. I think he was coming more. It comes more from a friendship thing, and that's. I keep saying that because people, they tend to go and run with the narrative that Geo was doing this for clout. Geo was doing it. Not everybody wants to be a fucking superstar. Not everybody wants to be in the limelight. Do you see what the fuck they do to people in Hollywood? It's worse than going in the fucking military. Do you see how they change people when people get famous and become singers and actors and musicians and shit like that? People change. That's a perfect example of how people change. Okay, we didn't all seen the movies, the Five Heartbeats, the Temptations. Okay, David Ruffin, anybody? What's the difference? Eddie Kane. What's the difference? I want y'all to tell me. Please tell me what's the difference between their situation that was in a movie that happened in real life and what's happening on YouTube as far as this GOTS Madison thing. Okay. As one member of the Temptation said, no one's bigger than the group. Okay. I mean, I can use another example right now. On a side note, I can use an example right now. Ellen DeGeneres is being investigated by Time Warner for her TV show for some very questionable things that's been happening, the discrimination that's been happening on her show. That was out in the news. You get where I'm going with this? The more famous you are, the more motherfucking problems that you have. Look, I ain't hating on nobody. I ain't gonna hate on nobody. If it's my time to shine, then fuck it. Let it be my time to shine. If it's your time to shine, fuck it. Let it be your time to shine. But I just use Ellen DeGeneres as an example. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute. Miss Kept Secret said he also says he doesn't want to be a manager, so that's why he's coming out to say what he's saying. Right, exactly. And the thing about it, like the really, really shady shit that I did at the end, like it was like for me, it was like a nonstop drag fest. Like, bitch, I want you to come out with a character on my motherfucking platform. Like, I just felt like when Omar said when he tried to put emphasis on, oh well, because T.S. Madison said you only paid what you worth. That was a nice ass read. Like I'm not going to take that away from Maddie. That was a nice ass read right there. But at the end of the day, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. You have to look at it from both sides. Okay, Geo came out and said he only made from Cash App 27,000, and then he did his PayPal, which was smaller than the Cash App receipts that he had and stuff like that. And his emphasis was it's not about the money. So for Maddie to come up on there and say, "Oh, I paid you what you were worth," like, see, this is the very telling thing about people when you don't fuck with them no more. There are some people that will just stop. Y'all won't fuck with each other no more, and y'all don't speak on each other. and y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all see motherfuckers in passing, or you'll hear about something that they doing, and you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. Then there's other people that was like, okay, well, I paid you for what you're worth. Like, what is your worth? Like, if we gonna have a real conversation about a person's worth, you have to ask yourself a question. What is your worth? Okay? Because if it was me and somebody said, "Oh, I paid you for what you worth," okay, you can have that, all that. But at the end of the day, you still motherfucking paid. You didn't get it for free. I'm just saying that's not a read, but that's how I would take that situation if it was me. Like at the end of the day, it really wasn't about the money, so that's dead. And if you think that I'm worth a little over $27,000, then thank you. At least you paid me something. I'm just saying. And I'm not, let me be clear. I'm not Team Geo, I'm not Team Armand, and I'm not Team Maddie. I watch every last one of them individually. I watch every last one of them. I'm not Team nobody. I'm just giving my opinion. Let me get to these comments though. Ellen is a mean person behind the scenes. It was only a matter of time. And you know what Miss kept secret about that though? Wait a minute. Let me see if I missed anybody else's comments. Give me 1 second. I just don't want to skip nobody. Right. I responded to Louie. He said he also doesn't. Okay, I responded to that. Yeah, Ellen. Okay, so I'm caught up. So the thing about Ellen, though, it has always been reports. I remember back in 2019 when this young gentleman came out and he was talking about how Ellen DeGeneres was mean, like she wouldn't talk to him and a couple of other things. And then you heard rumblings about it was like borderline racism. I think in the news article that's out, actually, I did a story on it, and it's going to be dropping in the next couple of days on my page. Is basically it was this woman, a black woman that worked for Ellen DeGeneres, and one of the main writers for that show, they were at a party or something like that, or a meeting, and he basically said to this woman, I only speak to the white people on this show. Like, imagine having a person say that to you. Like, quite a few of y'all would have teed off. Like, excuse me, quite a few people would have teed off when that motherfucker was like, fuck this job. Hey, Paula. With the quickness. Miss Kept Secret said Tyra tried to do the same thing, but they canceled her quick, especially the second time. Her show with Chrissy Teigen. Yes! I remember. Ooh. Miss Kept Secret. Mm-mm-mm. Honey. Honey. I remember that. Miss Kept Secret also said, at Keisha, it was such a mess. I can't even remember the name of it anymore. It aired on ABC a few years ago. Yeah, and I'm like, just like you, man. Look, out of the examples that I gave you, even if you want to go and if you want to even throw Wendy Williams in there, it was a lot of rumor. Is a lot of rumors about Wendy Williams and how her husband treated staff and some of the things that was going on and stuff like that. Like I said, like Biggie said, man, more money, more problems. More money, more problems. If you gotta do all that and change the person that you is because you got 40 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, Like, I don't want that shit. You can keep it. I'm content with being a little small ass YouTube content creator. What's for me is for me. The Most High going to bless me and every motherfucking body else on this YouTube. So at the end of the day, a bitch is chilling, doing her, waiting and waiting her motherfucking turn. Because look, if you want, honey, I'm not no race. I'm not no what Dad said. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay. Like y'all go and watch the numbers and shit. Like not y'all per se, but I'm just saying in general. Y'all go and watch the motherfucking numbers, cause bitch, I'm not. Miskept secret. I've heard Tyro is a nasty bitch. Shit, I heard Naomi Campbell is a nasty one too. Mm. She throwing cell phones and shit at people head. All types of wildness carrying on. Louis said, "What about the whole rumor that Ellen and Oprah were seen rocking ankle monitors? Fake news or not?" But look, Louis, look. We about to go left real quick. Listen, right? We about to turn left down the street real quick, right? I want y'all to follow me, right? So y'all know Jeffrey Epstein, right? Jeffrey Epstein, the whole thing about it, right? So CNN finally got around to releasing the flight manifesto for Jeffrey Epstein. And it's a couple of people on there that we know really well. Okay. Um, there's a lot of rumors of people being on there, but I do know for a fact that the two people that's on there is Bill Clinton and Chris Tucker. I know that because I've seen it. If you don't know, go over to Twitter. Twitter, listen. Tom Hanks is on there. Okay. All right. So the thing is, the article that I did, well, the story that came out today, I was basically talking about how he was over there. He never denied being over there. He never denied going to go see Jeffrey Epstein, right, Keisha? He never denied going to see and Oprah too, and Oprah too, and Oprah too, and Oprah too, and he never denied going over there on the island to go holler at motherfucking Epstein and shit like that. But the person from the deposition, and you got to understand, this deposition is from like the mid 2000s. When this girl, she was like, it wasn't uncommon for them to have, sexy parties. We'll say that because it's YouTube. Have sexy parties and stuff. And there were adolescents present, allegedly two adolescents present at the time that this person gave their statement. And she says that she only seen Bill Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein. That doesn't mean that he did anything. He was just coming to probably chop it up with him. On the other hand, allegedly, Bill been doing this shit for a long time, okay? If you don't believe me, go back and Google how he fucked up Arkansas, him and Hillary. But that's another live. But yeah, Chris Tucker's on there, Tom Hanks, oof, Bill Clinton. It's a lot of people on there. It's a lot of people on there. Okay, it's a lot of people that you wouldn't think that would be like fucking around with Jeffrey Epstein um is on there. Okay. Another thing, it's another person that's on there, but I'm not gonna say their name because I don't want my shit to get snatched. Okay? We'll just say 45. Okay? So 45 definitely been there. He's been there several times. He's been seen in countless of videos and stuff like that. And yeah, you know, who knew that Jeffrey Epstein was in the self harming himself. Right. I'm gonna just leave that there. But yeah, like it's a lot of stuff going on, and like look, at the end of the day, all this shit is entertaining. The thing with Madison and Geo and Armand, it's always a show. When you go watch Armand, it's always a show. When you watch Maddie, and it's Geo doing this thing or whatnot. But I always liked Geo. You know what I'm saying? I look at Geo like he's this laid back individual. Like don't start none, won't be none. I like just let me be in my little corner, which is nothing wrong with that. Like I can respect the shit out of that. Like, but that's what I get from Geo. I don't really think he was trying to be malicious. I do believe that he spoke out in anger. So yeah, Luay said we're all a work in progress. Facts to that. But Troutmouth is on a whole nother level of pathetic. I'm not sure he realizes it, or maybe he just can't do anything about. Well, look, as far as that's concerned, we all know that that's a messy bitch. We all know that um, that bitch is giving clout chaser tease. We all know that that bitch will. If it came down to I'll give you this scenario. If it came down to a situation where they enacted martial law and shit like that, I believe that bitch would turn his own motherfucking people in. Okay, I believe that this motherfucker just to gain some motherfucking favor. Okay, to hold on to a fucking vessel. And when I say vessel, I mean body, which is temporary. To hold on to a vessel that's gonna deteriorate away anyway. Okay? So read from that what you will, but I mean we all know her girlfriend agenda. Girlfriend is a messy clout chasing bitch. Girlfriend hates virtually every motherfucking body. Girlfriend wants to be the center of attention. Girlfriend cannot stand if a motherfucker just is slightly a smidget more talented than them. Girlfriend got some childhood issues that didn't get worked the fuck out. Okay. So at the end of the day, fuck them, you know? So Keisha said at Luay, I doubt he realizes it. He thinks too highly of himself. And the thing about that is I will agree with that. And the thing is, everybody should think highly of themselves. But it's just the way that you do it, okay? Like you don't necessarily have to be. I'm the shit. I'm the shit. I'm the shit. Just because a person say your name. Oh look, I got these bitches shit. They keep their name in my mouth and this that and the third. Why you think when I do lives and shit like that, I rarely put people's names in the titles unless I'm doing a reloaded video and it's a story and it has nothing to do with this sector. But even though I do that, they still say a motherfucker be clout chasing. I don't get it. Because I gave my opinion, I'm clout chasing. Fuck you. Child, you got to look. You got to live and stay and thrive in your own motherfucking lane. And he is deriving. Child. Child. At this point, Keisha, let me just say that I hope he find what the fuck he looking for. I hope he find what he looking for. And yes, I did refer to him as a girl because he very much gives me bitch vibes. I hope he find what he looking for. I hope that all the backstabbing and stepping on the necks and shoulders of others get him closer to where the fuck he want to be. Because at the end of the day, I'm not concerned, bitch. That's not my fate. That's not my trial. So fuck him and everybody that like him and everybody that fuck with him. Okay, you doing your thing, never chasing anyone or anything. Of course. Period. For what? I can like you or I can not like you. I can see some value, just like I said earlier, again, about Armand. I enjoy his lives when I do watch them. I enjoy his lives. He definitely knows how to hold the audience. He definitely has a presence about him, and nobody can never take that away from him. But all that extra messy, like I'm just gonna put out my frustrations on the next motherfucker because I really can't. I really don't want to tell it to the other motherfucker because we just got back good or at least cordial with each other. Like I'm not with none of that shit. I mean, you do what you do, but that's just my opinion. At the end of the day, that's not. That's no shade. That's no shade. It is my opinion. Period. And I don't give a fuck. Eluwe says, side note, did anyone see that Beyonce? Oh my god. Ooh, girl. Oh my gosh. That Beyonce, let me tell you, if you ever have a motherfucking time in your life where you yeah, it's $6.99. You gotta pay $6.99 to see it. If you ever, but it's worth it though. Like her visual albums though is life to me. Like I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but if you ever get to see it, ooh, it is life. Okay, if you ever had one of them days that you not proud to be motherfucking black, that you don't know that your motherfucking essence, we are living stars on earth. We are falling stars on earth, motherfucker. We set the motherfucking tone for the rest of the world, okay? If you ever have any doubt or feeling down about your motherfucking blackness, go watch Black is King. Go watch Black is King. I'm here to tell you, I lived for all of it. I lived the colors. The colors popped. The message was clear. The notion, the libations to the Orishas, Oshun and Yemiya and how she tied it in with the Lion King was, I mean, something within itself. It ran hand in hand, but she was still able to show her creativity and the message that she was trying to display. Like, it was everything. And, like, I wish when I was growing up, when I was a little girl, that we had people like Beyonce, to come tell us. Besides, the rappers, because I grew up in the 80s and shit like that, KRS-One, MC Shan, LL Cool J, Shantae Roxanne, um, the Beastie Boys and Rum DNC and all of that shit. That's my era right there. Like, we had that positive reinforcement, but that was something very much needed in the 80s, but it was all about, what I'm saying, rap back then and hip hop and stuff like that. So, well, not so much rap, but hip hop um, back then. And I appreciate that shit. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, if you ever having a dull day about who you are and what you are, know that you are somebody, even if you are nobody, okay? And catch that motherfucking T. Know that you are somebody, even if you're nobody. Everybody is somebody. Nobody is somebody. Catch that. So when motherfuckers get up on here and talk about, oh, bitch, you ain't nobody, you this, you that, you a commoner, you a peasant, all that motherfucking queen king talk and shit like that. Oh, you a nigga. You first of all, you ain't even fighting for the right motherfucking kingdom. Because bitch, for you to sit up here and say another motherfucking person is a peasant, and bitch, we got the same skin color, bitch, and we melanated. Bitch, you fighting for the motherfucking Queen of England, bitch. I don't know you. I don't know. You might as well be fighting for the motherfucking Queen of England. You might as well be a motherfucking a servant of you know what I'm saying, the motherfuckers over there in Europe, bitch, because bitch, we ain't on the same team. We don't fight for the same things. We are not the same. But nevertheless, bitch, I am somebody. Okay? Know that. That's the only thing I'ma say. I want to watch it, but I don't. Yeah, Disney Plus. Yeah, but you know what? You know what I would say though? It's a lot of services out there. And I'm pretty sure if Google is your friend, listen, let me tell you something, Miss Cap Secret. Google is your friend. A bitch will be on Google right now, Googling Watch Black is King free. Okay? I will be Googling that shit right now, and I bet you, I promise you, 9 times out of 10, somebody got that motherfucking Black is King, the whole thing. And I'm trying to tell you, it's an experience. If you have young children, young boys and girls, nieces and nephews and stuff like that, even your children, please let them watch that. If you can watch that, please let them watch that. Because our children need to see that. Our children need to see people that look like us, that's actually doing the thing. That's doing the thing and not, you know what I'm saying, pissing on people to get there, to get their point across. You know, the real kinship with the skin folk. You feel what I'm saying to you? And that's the only thing I can say. Like, motherfuckers fighting over views and cash apps and who do the best parodies and who got the most followers and all this fucking retarded shit that don't even fucking matter, because when the Most High say it's time to go, bitch, it's time to go. You ain't no negotiating with that. Ain't no, oh, let me smash these bitches real quick. None of that. When it's time to go, it's time to fucking go. Okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that ties back to my thumbnail that I got up here for this video. You treat people how you want to be treated. Respect is earned and not given. At the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about certain people, regardless of what you say about certain people, regardless of what they say about you, respect is earned, not given freely. Not for me anyway. I can't speak for nobody else. Exactly, Keisha. None of it matters. None of it matters. At the end of the day, we all possess unique abilities and talents. Some of us, we haven't even tapped into it yet. So for some of us, it's probably a dream that they wanted to do, something that you pushed back and put into your little I'll come and pick it back up later type shit. Now is the time to explore all of this shit. For the people that's not essential workers and the people that their lifestyle has slowed down since all this stuff has went on with the pandemic. Dust that motherfucker off and look at that bitch again. You ain't even got to thank me later. Thank a bitch by letting a bitch open up a news article or seeing a bitch on TV or something like that and like, oh shit, I know her. She used to be in my chat. I know her. You know what I'm saying? She support me. And a bitch would be happy with that. Now's the time. Knowledge is power. All the shit they got going on now, they trying to slow down the postal service so motherfuckers can't vote. They didn't roll back the Fair Housing Act that Obama put into place so property owners and landlords would not discriminate against people of color. It is shit going on right now that affects all of us right now. You think I give a fuck about what Trout Mouth saying? Or what chattering dentures saying? Or a fucking dead person saying? I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. None of it. None of that shit matters to me. Let me just say that first and foremost. Bitch, talk your shit, sis. Speak your shit. But at the end of the day, that's not going to stop me from doing what I came to do. And when I came up on this bitch, when I came to this sector, I came to this sector because I just wanted people to hear my voice. I wanted to know that it was other people out there that somewhat agree with the things that I was saying. And I refuse to base my platform on just dragging a motherfucker. You know, it's half of these motherfuckers. I'm going to be honest with you real quick, and I'm going to be a little bit messy with it. I'm going to be a little bit messy. Some of these motherfuckers out here will jump through all these hoops, dox this, that, and every other motherfucking person in the world, slander a person's name, find out where a person work, find out where a person live, find out if a person is on public assistance or whatnot, and will actively seek that person out, even though they don't know them personally, will seek that person out to destroy them. Something's not right up there. We all of us are people with different backgrounds, different social issues, different economics, speaking through a fucking device that's being monitored. They just had a congressional hearing with the CEOs of Instagram, Apple, and Twitter, and Facebook. They just did this shit. But people on here really worrying about, you know what I'm saying? People really on here coming for the girl, talking about, oh, bitch, you this, you that, you look like this. Oh, you ain't never showed yourself. Bitch, I have showed myself. That's the thing. Just because you never caught me showing myself, bitch, don't mean that I've never showed myself. That's one. Two, all the shit that's going on right now. And let me just lay out a couple of things for you. It is August, okay? Yesterday, which was Friday, the moratorium on evictions ran out. So it's about to be a lot of people that's going to lose their homes. A lot of them. Understand that. It's going to be people that's going to be evicted because the federal moratorium to stop rent and utilities and all that shit, it was over yesterday. Another thing that happened yesterday, if you get unemployment and you was getting that extra 600 grip, that shit is done. Until they come up with another plan in Congress, which the Republicans really don't want to. They really don't want to, and they sitting there blaming the Democrats. Mind you, I don't subscribe to any political party. I don't fuck with the Democrats like that too hard, and I don't fuck with the Republicans like that too hard. I don't fuck with the independents and liberal, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. I don't do, okay? But in the interest of getting 45 the fuck out of here, a bitch a vote. So go out and vote. Okay? I know I said on many occasions, and I'm going to be the first one to call that shit out. I always have said that voting doesn't solve anything. Voting doesn't change anything. Your presidents are pre-selected, not elected. I've said this time and time again. But given the issue of everything that's going on with people, I mean, Portland, let's take Portland for example. 45 sent mercenaries, aka federal agents, okay? The motherfuckers that was in the military and shit that came home and didn't want to stop killing and abusing people's civil rights and shit like that. That's who the fuck was in Portland. Them unnamed motherfucking federal agents with no insignia, no name tag or nothing like that. Honey, let me just tell you, that was nothing but a bunch of motherfucking mercenaries. And you want to know how deep this shit get? Let me just give you an example. Find out who the Secretary of Education is. Once you find out who the Secretary of Education is, find out who her brother is. Find out what her brother does. And then all of this shit will make sense to you. Let me see. They not looking at the big picture, madam. They have tunnel vision. They need to wake up. Like, yeah, everybody at this point, everybody need to wake up. Like, the ancestors been trying to tell motherfuckers for a long time to wake the fuck up. And I do understand and take into account that all of us are alarm clocks, and your alarm clock ain't gonna go off the same time my alarm clock gonna go off. But bitch, at this point, you need to start forcing that motherfucker to go off. Okay? Whatever you do, if you pray to God, Yahshua the Most High, the Spirit got so many names. The Most High, I call him the Most High. The Most High, or the Great I Am. Okay? So whatever you call the Creator, you need to ask them, or him or her, whatever the fuck you believe. No shade, whatever you believe. Ask them for guidance. Ask the ancestors to guide you and show you the truth. I'm just saying. Oh, another thing that I wanted to talk about, Instagram, right? Now, you know Trump trying to shut down Instagram and all that shit, right? I mean, not Instagram. He's trying to shut down TikTok because on TikTok, the truth is actually coming out. If you're not on TikTok and you want to know what the fuck is going on, and you want to know about the shit that people really don't talk about, much like how I come on here and do my stories, and that's in the news, but people ain't talking about it, you need to take your ass over to TikTok. You need to go find out what TikTok really be like. Keisha said, yes, get him out of here. We in danger. We all in danger. And that's the funny shit about it. Them Trump supporters walking around like this motherfucker is a fucking king. First of all, the United States has never had a king, bitch. First of all, the motherfucking English, the Europeans, fled London, fled Europe to come seek new motherfucking land because they didn't want to be under the direction of a motherfucking king or monarch. Okay, let's start there because that is true and that is factual. Okay, No matter how they write it in the motherfucking history books, them motherfuckers fled because they did not want to be under the rule of a king. And they came and they stole somebody else's motherfucking shit. Okay? Let's start there. Hey, Muffy. Miss Kept Secret said, especially voting this year, at least to change our district a district attorney. Of course, most definitely. And another thing that happened in the news, I'm glad that you said that, Miss Kept Secret. The Supreme Court has ruled a couple of things happened. The Supreme Court has ruled that Trump has to show his tax returns to whoever's prosecuting him. So that was a win. Also, a couple of last month, was it Oklahoma? Oklahoma gave Native Americans back half of Oklahoma. They gave half of their territories back. How about that? Another thing that happened, Michael Cohen, 45's old lawyer, they threw his ass back in jail because he's working on the book. And the federal judge was like, "No, you're trying to retaliate against him. So I wanted him to be released." So they released him again on Friday. What else is happening? Oh, 45 tweeted out that he wanted the election to be postponed. Never in the history of the United States has the election been postponed. Okay? Never. Not even through World War I or II or any other war, any other crisis that's hit the United States has the fucking voting, since voting has begun, have they ever rolled back? I think, did they? I don't know. I would have to check. But to my knowledge, they have never rolled back their voting. The voting is on November 3rd. When you get that mail-in ballot, I don't know, depending on what state that you live in, but I already know that Maryland, we getting the motherfucking mail-in ballots. You hear what I'm saying to you? At this point, I don't give a fuck who Biden choose. Biden could choose these nuts, and I would still put a motherfucking vote in this man's favor just to get 45 the fuck out of here. Period. Okay? His running mate could be these nuts. Okay? And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, y'all got to go back to the last election and shit where somebody actually was on the ballot for was a presidential candidate under the name These Nuts. Yep. Right. Everyone knew he was going to try to stop the election. Why you think he fucking with the postal office, girl? Why you think he girl, this motherfucker tried to cut funding to the postal office. Do you know how many people, the elderly people that get their motherfucking medications through the mail? And stuff like that. People that read that really do need fucking postal service. Girl. Everything. Look, listen, I just told y'all that he rolled back the Fair Housing Act that Trump put in place, not Trump, Obama put in place before he departed the presidency. He rolled that shit back. So now, basically, what that means is if you're in Section 8 or public housing or any type of federal housing program, they're going to build projects or they're going to move you somewhere that's heavily populated by black and brown people and extremely poor people. And he's going to take apparently, I'm guessing they're going to take all the housing out of the suburbs, because he literally just got on TV and it wasn't like he was sounding the dog whistle. He just totally came out and said, hey, suburban people, you don't want the niggas and all the niggas, people of color. This is him, but it's not verbatim. You don't want the niggas buy your property, making your property go down and the crime and stuff like that. Oh, you don't have to have them, because he's trying to pander to the middle class, because the polls that's coming out, he's losing real big with white women, white educated women that live in the suburbs. The men still holding in there, but he's losing against suburban moms and shit like that. They leaning towards Biden. He's up in the polls, but I will stress this about Biden being up in the polls. Hillary was up in the polls too. And you see what the fuck happened, right? And that only leads me to speculate that really, honestly and truly, they didn't prepare for motherfuckers just to say, "Oh, we'll vote," by mail. He want motherfuckers to come out and actually expose themselves to the pandemic, um, and stuff like that. He wants people to come out and expose themselves to the pandemic, all to vote for him. Because see, my theory is, allegedly, he can fix the vote with the voting machines. That's no secret. That's no secret. If you want proof of that, you can go back to 1968 when Nixon was running and he ran against Dick Gregory. Yes, the comedian Dick Gregory in 1968. Go Google it. He ran against Dick Gregory, and in the state of Pennsylvania alone, Dick Gregory received over 9 million votes. And at that time in 1968, the population did not reflect the amount of votes that he got. So they fixed the election back then when Nixon was running for president. But it was a whole thing in the news. You can go look this up. He got so many votes because they fucked up on the machines and they kept voting for fucking Dick Gregory, that they just called it and said that Nixon won. So did Nixon really win the presidency? I don't know. He was president. That's something to think about. But and my assumption is, allegedly, he wants people to go out and vote at the polls because it's easier to manipulate the poll machines. You can't manipulate every motherfucking piece of mail, okay? I don't give a fuck if they throw away a great number of them, okay? And then you got to count into the absentee ballots. The absentee ballots are reserved for contractors and people that are in the military or people that work abroad. The absentee ballots, okay? So I won't believe he is out until the day they drag him out. Oh yeah, that motherfucker gonna piss a bitch. Kicking and screaming. You hear me? Kicking and screaming. But at the end of the day, y'all, I just want to go back to my main topic. My main point is, treat people how you want to be treated. None of us are perfect. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. If you doing good, then I salute you. I hold you up because you are my sister and you are my brother, and I'm proud of you. I don't have to know you. I don't have to know you personally. But know every accomplishment that you have or that you have achieved, a motherfucker is definitely most proud of you. Regardless if they be big or small. I'm proud of you. Because when one of us succeed, all of us succeed. And thank you guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I will come back later. I got some upcoming news to share with you guys, but I have to get the okay and see what else is going on and stuff. So I will be back with that. Until then, I'm gonna keep doing my regular content. I got a couple of videos. I got a video coming out tomorrow as well. In addition to that, so I'm gonna just try to keep the videos coming and stuff. I appreciate each and every last one of you. I truly do. And I thank you for allowing me to have my platform where even if you don't totally agree with everything that I say, even if you don't particularly like me, but you be in the bushes anyway, I appreciate you. Because regardless of it, regardless of how many views I get, somebody's going to watch that. And it feels and to be honest, it feels good to know that it's some people that you may not totally agree with me all the way, but nevertheless you do agree with me somewhat on some issues, and I appreciate that. I'm about to get out here, y'all. I'm about to go. Let me see, what time is it? It is 8. Yeah, I'm about to go get me something to munch on real quick and roll up and toke up. So I'm gonna get back with y'all later. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one. And I'll probably be in the bushes with y'all. If I see y'all, holla at you, girl.